Pemberley farm. Well, this is the first of our series in herbs and medicinal herbs. And so today I was going to do something that I grow regularly, but today, because this kind of fell out of the sky into my lap, we're going to talk about something that grows in the wild, and that is Usnea. And I'm going to come up to the camera and let you see a little closer. Okay, hopefully that is getting a picture of it. Now this is not Spanish moss, okay? Let me come back. All right, have some notes because I don't want to forget anything, and I'm old and I forget things. So anyway, but Usnea is, you might also know it as old man's beard. That's the other name that I knew it of. And then another one that I didn't know, a couple of them, were lungs of the forest and beard moss. So anyway, and where do you find this? First of all, though, it's a lichen. And what is a lichen? A lichen is a form of two different things that come together, and this is a fungus and an algae, and they work together, and they grow on the twigs and the sides of trees. As you can see, we had a storm the other day and this fell out of the tree right in front of me. And then I got in the golf cart to come over here to do this today to the farmhouse, and I went just a few feet on the golf cart, and last night we'd had a storm as well, and some more had fallen out of a tree. And so anyway, it is a very interesting, don't know that I can call it actually an herb, but it's a very interesting medicinal substance. Okay, there are different types of it, and like I say, of lichens, but today we're talking about Usnea. Now, a distinguishing characteristic of Usnea is that when you pull some of it off and you pull it apart, I'm not sure I can make it show on the camera. You pull it a little bit, there's a white cord in amongst all that fuzz, and it's almost elastic like a rubber band. Okay, so you know that you've got it if that's there. Let's see, and it's gray-green in color. I don't know if you can tell that from the from the video, but it's a gray-green in color. And again, it is not Spanish moss. Okay. Now there's several uses for Usnea. I've known about Usnea for maybe 3 or 4 years, but I've never done too much with it. So I decided that this year was the year that I was going to seek it out and create some tinctures with it. And here's why. Because it is a antibiotic. Okay, let me first of all back up. I have to do a disclaimer here because I am not a doctor, nor do I play one on YouTube or anywhere else. And I am giving you information of what might be, what you could do, what you might investigate and research for yourself. So I am not prescribing anything to you. Okay, you understand that. I'm just giving you information. All right, so let's go. It has antibiotic qualities, it has antifungal qualities, antimicrobial, and antiviral. So I think that, and I knew about the antibiotic part of it. I've known that for 3 or 4 years, but I never did any deep research in it until just recently, because I never went out looking for it, and then it started falling out of the trees around the old farmhouse. And I will tell you that that's actually a good thing. They don't hurt the trees. This lichen does not hurt the trees, but it is a sign of clean air around the area that it grows. And so I liked that. We live in the middle of nowhere on an old dirt road, and so I liked that, that it was a sign that we had so much of it was a sign of clean air around our home, and so I like that. All right, so in the antibiotic, the outer part contains the compounds that some say rival penicillin. I thought that was quite a statement. Now, I can't prove that to you. Again, you have to do your own research. It can be used topically as well as internally. What we're going to do today is make a tincture. And you can also you can take the tincture by drops, or you can use the tincture as a spray, like on the back of your throat if you feel something coming on, or you've been around somebody that was sick and you kind of want to stave that off. You can spray the back of your throat with the tincture, or again, you can take the drops. You can also apply it to a wound. Okay, now understand that a tincture is 100 proof alcohol. That's why we have the vodka sitting here. I don't drink, my family doesn't drink, we don't drink at all. But we make tinctures and we make our own vanilla, and so therefore we have alcohol on hand. And so today we're going to make a tincture out of this Usnea. Now again, it has antiviral properties. It's effective in treating viral infection. It helps with respiratory issues, bronchitis, sinus infections, and strep and cold and flu. Again, I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget anything, and I forget things. So it also helps with urinary tract infections, so you know that's a good thing. It can be helpful for skin problems and wounds and infections, and in that case you would use it as a poultice or a salve. So the next time I get a fair amount of it, that's what I will do. I will put it in oil instead of alcohol, and we will let it sit for 6 to 8 weeks, probably 8 weeks, and let it sit. And then Ashley's the one that makes our salves, and then Ashley can make a wound salve out of the Usnea. So that we may do that, before too much longer. But this is the biggest amount that I found in one place, and so I thought I've got to do something with that. I can't let that get away from me. So let's see. Antifungal, it's effective in treating numerous common fungal infections. There's a whole list of them, but I don't want this video to be, forever long. And so the best thing for you to do is, now that you're aware of that this is a thing, to go and do your research on it, okay? It helps stop bleeding as well. So say if you were on a hike out in the woods and you fell and got cut pretty bad or something on a rock, and there was this growing in the woods where you were, you could take this, put it on the spot, and maybe wrap something around it to keep it in place, and it helps with clotting of the blood. It helps stop the bleeding, okay? So those are just a few things that it does, and like I say, I could be here for 30 minutes telling you all the things that it is good, that it would do good for if you were trying to treat something. But I want you really and truly to be aware of it first, and then go do your own research about it so that you know what you could do with it, all right? Now, I want to give a warning. It has not been tested as far as pregnant women and nursing women, and so because of that, I could not recommend it to anybody that is, and it should not be taken continually in large doses. Like, you don't want to start taking it today and then take it, every day forever in large doses, because then that is dangerous. However, you can take it as needed for specific problems. And if you use the spray, like I said, on the back of your throat, that is a very small amount, and that would not hurt you even if you did it every day. So, let's see. One more thing I want to do here is I want us to take the Usnea off of the tree, okay? We're going to take it off. You can do it when it's fresh and green, or you can do it when it's dry. Either one, doesn't matter. But this is dry because it fell a week or so ago, and so it's pretty dry. And so all I'm doing is just taking this off of the tree. The branch was dead that it was growing on, and it did not kill it. It really does not hurt your trees. So I think this is the coolest thing. I have said before, and as I said in the introduction really about this series, when I told you that this was going to happen, I truly believe that God created all that we would need to care for ourselves, to care for our bodies, to heal things that were wrong. And you may not agree with that, and that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but that's what I believe. I believe that. And I just believe that over time, I have to be careful about my words. Over time, what now is called traditional medicine took the place of what truly was traditional, and now what was originally traditional is considered alternative. Okay, and so you know, if you're afraid of something like this, that's okay. You don't have to do anything with it, but it's a good point of information. And listen, you know, we've had a lot of trouble with supply issues. And so, you know, you never know. Even you could spray this, like I say, it has antibiotic properties. If you get an animal, if you have an animal that is wounded in some way, then you can even spray this on that animal. And so, you know, there's a lot of ways that you can do it, and a lot of things that you need to think about of why you might need this. You know, the world's in a mess, and I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I don't think it is. However, there's a lot of chaos and trouble, and if we know about the things that God made for us, then we're a step ahead, I think. And you know, I don't remember if I've said this before. I may have said it in the intro video, but I'm going to say it again, even if I did. That I read a quote someplace that I can't remember, so I can't give credit because I don't remember where I read it, that said that the weeds, in other words, things that we consider weeds and that we throw away and kill because we consider them weeds, that the weeds is God's way of getting our attention to see His medicine. And you know, that makes a lot of sense because so many things that we consider weeds and invasive and aggravating have great medicinal qualities. As a matter of fact, some of the medicine of today started out as the natural things, and then slowly but surely, you know, synthetics came along and stuff like that. And so I'm not going to get too deep down into that because I might get in trouble, you know. But and I don't want to you know, get in trouble with the powers that be, so we'll just leave it at that. But you understand what I'm saying. So my goodness, this was a big wad of it. All right, I think that's enough for what I want to do today. And I'm just packing it down in, this is a 1 cup cup, and I'm just packing it down in that cup. Has anybody ever done this? That's what I want to ask. Have you ever done this? If anybody has ever made tincture out of Usnea, now there's another process to this. You know, all you're going to see today is me creating the tincture. You're not going to see the finished part of it because it's going to sit for 8 weeks before we pour it up and do this with it. And as a matter of fact, we're going to kind of do a double on this tincture, and I'll explain that to you at the time. We may, when it comes time to do that, we may do a short little video showing you just the just creating the second part to this. All right, more than just pouring the alcohol over it and letting it sit. So anyway, be on the watch for that because that's probably what we will do. All right, I think that's good. So now, let me get this over here to make sure you can see. All right, I've already got 1 cup of, my recipe originally called for ½ cup of Usnea and 1 cup of the alcohol, and it's 100 proof vodka. And because I've got a full cup of Usnea, I wasn't sure how much I would end up with. And because I have a full cup of Usnea, I'm going to put that down in there. Okay. And then I'm going to use 2 cups of vodka. The original recipe called for ½ cup of Usnea and 1 cup of vodka. But because I found some more and is more than I thought I would, I'm going to use 2 cups of vodka because I used 1 cup of Usnea. Boy, it smells. All right. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to take a chopstick. You know, chopsticks are my favorite thing to debubble when canning, if you'll remember that. So I'm just going to take a chopstick and mash the Usnea down in there to make sure it's all covered and all wet. And then, isn't this hard, y'all? This is just hard, you know, I'm just saying. And I'm done. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is have a place that's dark and that's kind of covered so that there's not a lot of light on it all the time. And I'm going to let this steep, so to speak, for 8 weeks. And every day I'm going to come over here, because I come over here every day anyway. I have to wash up stuff from milking. And so I will come in and I'll just shake it every day. That's what I'll do. And so in 8 weeks, we'll come back and we'll finish the whole process and bottle it up so that you can see it. And I'll label it Usnea Part 2 so that you know what we're doing. So anyway, this is a little different, isn't it? I was going to do echinacea, but when this fell at my feet, virtually fell at my feet, I'm like, I think we'll do Usnea. So that's good. So anyway, thank you so much for coming by to watch. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are Pemberley Farm Homestead. God bless you from Pemberley Farm.